came to me with this topic,
and I did, and I'm trying to explain something to you, and you just don't. Because you believe what you believe.
My opinion,
and that's fine.
And I disagree with you, and now
it's
you're
not even
upset
about disagreement.
That I disagree with you.
You're not listening to me, and now.
So there was a video of this guy explaining to a girl his boundaries on a relationship, and she had a problem with it. In this video, we're going to discuss our point of views and how we feel about the video. Welcome to the SOSAPIOSEXUal podcast, where attraction transcends physicality and sparks fly through engaging conversations. Let's get into it.
So there was a video, like you were explaining, of a young man where he was like, I guess these interview videos, I have no idea what they're called.
Yeah, they
like,
popping up all over the place right now.
Like he's in a white screen, and then like the girls come up to him and he talked to them or whatever.
Right.
So the guy was saying that he basically was asking her like, was she like, I don't. It cuts into the like kind of middle of the conversation.
Right.
So and she's like, and he says, you know, something along the lines of the club, and she was like, oh, you don't like me hanging out with my friends or going to the club. Mm-hmm. And he explained, and he asked her a question. He said, if you're with a man who's giving you everything you need plus some, what is the point of your behind in the club? And that's exact. Well, he said a couple of things, but he said, what is the point of you being in the club?
Yeah, so that was like the main thing that he was talking about.
That was the meat and the potatoes, as they call it. And she responded, first of all, she went on a tangent. So she was like, I'm a good woman. I can cook.
Yeah, she was like,
clean,
I'm submissive, this, that, and the third.
I'm submissive to men. But I don't like controlling.
Yeah, she was trying to say that he was controlling about like his standards.
Right.
And he was just basically like, I'm not trying to control you, but
he's like, that's my boundaries.
Boundaries, yeah.
He said, that's not control. I have boundaries. Mm-hmm. And he's like, and there's boundaries that I'm not gonna break. Like they're non-negotiable.
Right.
So the question basically for me, the reason why I was saying all that and going through the video is, do people really know the difference between boundaries versus control in a relationship? Control is always a big thing that people always want to throw around and say, but like, do we really understand the difference of the two? So
I'm not sure the difference between what controlling and what was the other
boundaries.
Controlling and boundaries. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So I looked at the definition in the Webster Dictionary, and it definitely says boundaries. It's a noun. It's a line that marks a limit of an area or dividing a line. So basically, it's marking an end and a beginning. Mm-hmm. Then there's another definition. It says personal boundaries are guidelines, rules, or limits that a person creates to identify a reasonable, safe, and permissible way for other people to behave towards them and how they will respond when someone passes these limits.
Right.
Those are personal boundaries.
Right.
So both of them is basically limitations.
Yeah, and we focusing on the second definition of personal boundaries, right?
Right.
Okay.
I just put both of them in here because I just wanted people to know the difference between the two. Mm-hmm. Then a definition of control. So controlling is basically an ongoing word. So control is the actual verb. It's an action word.
Right.
So it means the power of influence or direct people's behavior or courses of events. Mm-hmm. This whole operation is under control by a production manager. So they use it as an example.
Yeah.
They're two different things. People always want to say it's controlling for my spouse to tell me they don't want me to go here.
Right.
I don't think that's controlling. I think that is, I'm drawing a line and I don't appreciate you going here. Now you can go, but that's my boundary. So if you cross my boundary, whatever happens, happens. Right. And it's not a control thing. Now people can say they go neck and neck. You can say that. They can go hand in hand.
What, boundaries and control?
Yeah, because you're saying...
not necessarily. I think they're different.
I think they're different.
I think they're different, yeah.
But someone can fight me and say they are neck and neck.
Well, I agree that they are two different things, but mm-hmm. I'll let you continue.
Yeah, they can say that they walk hand in hand because you're controlling because you're using your boundaries as a control. That's not a control, though. That's basically telling me, like when you drink... You need to know your boundaries.
Right.
There's a limitation. You cannot else you're going to be sick like a dog. You may die. You know, there's consequences of overstepping a boundary.
Right.
That is the same thing in a relationship. there's consequences for overstepping a boundary.
So here's the thing. Here's my 2 cents on it, right? So I think that a boundary has to so I'm pretty sure when people grow up, they get more mature, and certain things that they thought was cool before is probably not cool now. So they may try to throw up a boundary, but we're not even going to get on that. We're just going to talk about surface level right now. So if he getting with this girl, or if he was interviewing her to try to get with her, I guess that's what the interview was.
I have no idea.
So if he's saying right there that, hey, I don't like when you go out to the club, or I'm not I'm a homebody. I want my woman to be in the house or whatever. And my boundary is my boundary is I want you in the house, because if you cross that, then I'm not going to date you no more. That's what he was saying?
No, I think he was just basically saying, if you have a man, why are you fishing at a club for another man? Because a lot of times women, we go out for that attention aspect for men.
Right. And so I agree and I disagree. Everything is not so black and white. It's not so cut and dry, right? So me personally, and I said this plenty of times before, I feel like I'm not a fucking female, but I feel females need male attention. They need it. I feel like it's healthy to get other males to look at you, or other males to see you, to value who you are, to see how pretty you are. Now, it's definitely boundaries there. It's definitely things you shouldn't be doing. Like, if you're in a relationship, I don't think that you should be thirst trapping people. So it's a difference between getting attention respectfully, aka Rihanna, and getting attention disrespectfully, aka Sukiana. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's a two. But if you, the thing that I disagree with him about is well, I don't really disagree with him. It's just okay, I just think that they would never coexist in a relationship, because if he feel that it's disrespectful for her to go out and she wants to go out, then that's her prerogative to go out. How do you feel about that?
I think there's two different levels of maturity here. And I'm going to say why. Because he's not saying you can't go out.
Right.
He's not saying you cannot go with your friends. All he's saying to her is, hey, if you got a man that's completing your needs and doing what you have to do, why are you going to the club? He's not saying you cannot go out with your friends. That's not what he said.
Right.
He said the club.
Right.
Because there is a stereotype in a club. There is a certain type of people in the club.
Right.
And if you're putting yourself in that element, you're seeking that attention from those people. So why, if you're in a situation and you're happy and things are great, why are you seeking that? So I get what he's saying. I get exactly what he's talking about, because this is why there are some men that do have issues with women that go to the club all the time with their friends. Because the thing, you're seeking other attention. And what happens, and I've seen it happen all the time, because you're out, your friends may be single, they may be whatever, now you're getting that attention from single men. So now that mentality of me in a relationship is I'm good. I love this attention from this man. It's new. It's brand new. It's this, it's that.
Right.
So now you forget your own relationship, because you're seeking this new thing that's going to fizzle out within the next couple of weeks.
I think that's controlling.
I don't think it's control. I think it's a boundary.
I think that's controlling for a few reasons. I think that's controlling because if somebody's going to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you regardless. Stopping them from going to the club or setting a boundary of that person not going to the club is not. That's not going to guarantee a person to not cheat on you. If they're going to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you. If the person that you with likes to go to the club and you don't want to go to the club, why are you stopping that person from living who they want to be? You can go to the club, dance with people, have fun, and still be faithful. You can do that. You can go. You can get attention from other men and still be faithful.
You're setting yourself up for failure. I feel
you're not
like
really
a lot
setting
of
yourself up for failure though. How are you setting yourself up for failure? One, how do you feel like you're setting yourself up for failure?
You're putting yourself in an environment that is seeking just that. So that does not make sense. If you're an alcoholic, you're not going to go to a bar and be like, "Oh, I'm strong enough to do it because I can do it." Right. That doesn't make sense. You're putting yourself in a place of temptation. So why are you even putting yourself in that position? I
mean, yeah, you are. So a lot of chicks, when they go out to the club together, a lot of the times they dancing about it. They dancing with themselves.
You're not a chick, so you can't speak for it.
I'm not.
Again, a lot of women that go out to the club
Yeah.
are seeking attention from other men. And they like the idea of being single for that night. It feels good. They just have that idea. That whole idea of seeking attention from men, I don't agree with, because I feel like when you're in a relationship, that attention that you're seeking should be from your man. I don't feel as though you need validation from other people, because when you start looking for validation, you're never going to be happy with the person you're with, because you're always going to be seeking validation. That doesn't make sense to me.
So yeah, it's a very sticky situation. It's very sticky, and it's not black and white. Again, it's a gray area. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, and I'm your husband. Like, I feel like it's healthy for men to look at you. Like, I feel like it's healthy for you to go out and get noticed by other men.
But I'm not going out there seeking it. Like, I'm not putting on outfits to make them happy.
Yeah.
I'm putting on outfits because I'm going somewhere, wherever I'm going, and my man is good with it. I'm not out there seeking, like, I'm going to put this on because it's going to make my butt look big so they can look at me. I'm not doing that.
Right, but you got a naturally fat ass. So,
but I'm not looking for validation from other men.
Nah, I understand that. And like, I understand that. And I'm not saying that you go out and you get attention from other men intentionally. It's a difference between getting attention with class and getting attention with trash. You get attention with class. Again, Rihanna can go to a gala basically naked and it'll be a masterpiece. It'll be like a work of art. But then you have somebody that can go look kind of trashy. Like, it's certain things that you can do, or there's a certain vibe that you got to have to make it classy instead of trashy. But what I'm saying is that I think if you get attention with class, then it's not like if you're a wife to somebody, or if you're a girlfriend to somebody that's thinking about a serious relationship, if you go out and get attention with class, then I find nothing wrong with that. I find that actually healthy on a woman's mentality, because I feel like a woman I think she needs to feel sexy. She needs to feel
from
some
other
type
men.
From the opposite sex.
That's interesting.
Even from maybe the same sex. Maybe like your homegirl saying that you pretty, looking like you look good or whatever. Like, I like your nails. Like, when we go out, you get a lot of compliments.
Yeah, but I don't feed off of that.
I know you don't feed off it, and I'm not saying that you feed. Like, so the question, like, we talking about what happened in the video. Like, none of the stuff that I'm saying really pertain to us. We just discussing like something that we saw online.
Yeah.
So I'm not really saying that I'm putting you in this predicament, or that you search for validation, or you do this, you do that. You may be different than everybody else, and that's totally fine. But what I'm saying is that when we go out, you get attention from a lot of people, and it's healthy attention. You get what I'm saying? Like, people come up to you all the time. Women come up to you all the time, not men, but women come up to you all the time. I love the way you're wearing that dress. I love your nails. I love the way your hair looks. This, that, and the third. And it feels good. It feels good for me to hear it, and it looks like it feels good for you to hear it.
I mean, you're gonna feel how you feel. Me personally, I don't need someone to tell me I look good to make myself feel good. That's just me. Because again, at the end of the day, my confidence level in myself is good. So I don't need someone to tell me, hey, you look good. Okay, cool. That's just me. Again, some women need that. Some men need that. They need to push that self-esteem back up. So they need someone to tell them, you look good. I don't need that. And I think that goes back to me growing up for a very long time. I got a lot of attention that was unnecessary. So I don't look for that attention because I don't need it. I had it my whole life. Didn't want it, don't want it. That's how my makeup is. Other women may like the whole idea of getting attention from men because it makes them feel validated. I need one man to validate me, and he's in my house. I really don't care if anybody tells me I don't look good. Because at the end of the day, if I looked in the mirror and I was like, I look good today, that's it. That's just my self-esteem. That's how I am.
Right.
I had to build my self-esteem to that point. But I don't look for validation from people. But going back to the video, when it comes down to what he said, I think those conversations are key, because if he's saying something to this young lady like, hey, I just don't want my women to be doing all that. You can have fun. There's other ways you can have fun. I just don't want you, thirst trapping in the club with a guy, or I don't want a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the case may be, that's his boundary. He's not, I don't think he's wrong at all. I feel as though he's saying what he believes. If you as a woman
Did I say he was wrong?
You said half and half. Like, you feel like it's controlling because you feel like he's controlling the situation. He's
I feel like it's not wrong, but I do feel like it's controlling.
It's not. If I'm dating somebody and I'm telling you, like, I don't like A, B, and C, and if you're not that person, I can move on. Cool. That just ain't it.
Yeah.
You just ain't it for me.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's a level of that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in a relationship, it's certain things that people may do that's controlling. It happens, especially if you're in a long time relationship. It's certain things that you be like, all right, I'm not gonna do this because my spouse will get mad or X, Y, and Z. So you do have some. You gotta have a healthy level of control in your relationship. And I do feel like if that's a trigger for a person that they don't like their person to be in a club, that's a trigger for them. It's nothing wrong with that. You should state that problem. You shouldn't like be like, okay, well, I'm gonna just let her do her. No, if you have an issue with that, you can definitely state that. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
That's the boundary.
It is a boundary, but is it controlling too? It is it's a little controlling because you're telling a person, hey, in order to be with me, this is the requirement.
He's not saying that. He's just saying this is what I don't like. He's just saying my boundary is this.
So like if that's his boundary and if she crossed the boundary, then
she don't have to date him. He's telling you, I don't like this. Don't be with me if you don't like it.
Right.
Boundary.
So yeah.
So you're telling me because that's controlling. It's a controlling situation. It's not. He's not in a relationship with this woman. He's just stating what if you want to be with me, I don't appreciate this.
Right.
As a woman or as a man, you even take that or you don't.
Right.
You have a choice. There is no secret, we in a relationship full blown, and I'm telling you, I'm letting you know my boundaries as such.
You do.
And if you cross them, I can't be with you because you believe in A, B, and C. Okay? And that to me is healthy because you weed out the things you don't want. If these are the conversations that need to be had, because he's just making a statement and he's telling her, like, hey, okay, you like going to, I like to go to the club. First of all, we don't know how frequently the club is. We don't know any of the ops about it. So when it comes down to it, he's just saying, hey, I just don't feel as though that's needed. And that's his personal opinion. There probably is a woman out there who feels the same. Like, you know what? I don't like doing that either. And I don't feel like, and they would match. They would match perfectly fine.
Right.
But he's saying to her, he's not saying for you to be with me, you can't go to the club. He's saying my boundary is I don't like my woman in the club. If you want to be in the club, you can't be in the club. But I personally will not date you. Maybe I'll sleep with you a couple of times, but I won't date you because that's my boundary. And I mean, he's making it very clear.
Yeah, I mean, and I I agree with him, but I also feel like that's controlling. And you don't feel like that's controlling.
No, controlling is making a I said the definition of controlling. That's two different things. Boundary is a limitation or a line. If you cross this line or this limitation in that I'm setting a boundary in the beginning. I'm letting you know I don't like pineapples. And if you say, well, I eat pineapples every day, well, that's my boundary.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying now.
That's kind of like I'm setting the walls, and I'm just telling you, like, this is what I don't like.
Okay, so if a person states in the beginning their boundaries, as you're saying, and in this instance, we're talking about the club. If they state that they do not like their spouse or whatever in the club at the beginning, then that is a boundary. But if they were dating already and they were going out to the club together, and then all of a sudden he's like, I don't want my spouse to go to the club no more because I feel like I give you everything that you need as a man, then I feel like that's controlling.
I feel like I don't feel like that's controlling. Because that's
that person. I give you everything that you need. Why are you going out to the club? Like,
yeah, because why are you seeking other people's validation? I get what that is.
So you think that people go to the club just to get validated all the time?
Absolutely. When you're out with your friends, it's a whole showboat thing. I'm gonna wear my best. I'm gonna show up my best. I'm gonna buy the best bottle. It's a show up and show improve. 110% you want validation from other people. You want people to
have a good time. So
you want your friends to look cool. You want to look like you the man. You want to look like you the woman. It's all a showboat. So at the end of the
if
day,
you enjoy showing off, then you just enjoy showing off.
but that's validation for people. That's what I'm saying.
All right, so let's just say it is validation.
Yeah, like you're looking for validation for strangers.
It's validation. Like, okay, you have fun getting validated by other people. That's your level of fun. What is the problem with that?
Why do you need to seek that validation from strangers? You have somebody that's validating you at home, so that means you're insecure about yourself, and you're not happy with the person that they're giving you at home.
It's not about insecurity. It's just about your fun level. Like if you feel like sitting at the house is boring,
it's not even about sitting. That's what annoys me. It's not about sitting at the house. There's other things you can do besides the club, and that's the thing. You can do things besides the club. If you need to be validated by strangers who have no idea who you are, have nothing to do with your life, they don't pay your bills, they don't sleep in your bed, they don't do none of that stuff, and you get validation from them 100% that you do your own spouse, you got a problem.
We've been disagreeing about this same topic for a very long time.
I mean, we are, because my validation does not come from strangers. I don't need to be validated from people. People don't have to look at me and make me feel good. I don't feel good because I don't know who they are.
So, like, when if you go to the club with your spouse, isn't that like, okay, you going to the club with your spouse, you having fun with your spouse? Are you looking for validation by other people by going to the club with your spouse? But so what? You still so you're saying that if you're with your spouse, you're not looking for validation, but if you go with your friends, you're looking for validation.
Because all of y'all looking for validation.
That doesn't make any sense.
Y'all looking for
okay. So
your spouse wants to go to the club.
Why are you and your spouse going to the club? You going to the club to have a good time.
Probably because your spouse or whoever wants to go. So you're going off of that.
You want to dress up. You want to look good for your spouse. You want to go out. You want to dance. You want to party with your spouse, right? And you want to have a good time.
Okay.
When you go and have a good time, you may get looks. He may get looks. This, that, and the third. But you're not out there looking for validation. It just happens. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right. So boom, that's the spouse side of it. But if you go with your friends, you can't do the same. It's not the same thing. Like how it just automatically switch up because you're going with your friends.
With your friends,
it doesn't make any sense.
It's a different viewpoint.
That doesn't make any sense,
your
though.
Spouse. I mean, you can feel how you feel because you feel as though validation should be coming from the opposite sex anyway. So
I've been feeling that way. I feel like a healthy degree of validation should come.
That's fine, but I don't feel that way. I was raised off of that. You were not raised in my position, so I feel as though the validation part of it, I don't care for. So I'm not about to be out here looking for someone to tell me I look good because it makes me feel good. I should feel good about myself, period. Like, why am I out here looking from other men to tell me I look good? That don't make no sense. That's very disrespectful to my spouse. It's very disrespectful to my situation. That's the problem.
You're repeating yourself to try to win an argument. And that's what I don't like.
I'm not repeating myself. I'm explaining my side, but you're not.
The side that you're explaining, is not. I'm saying one thing to you and you completely ignoring it. And then you saying whatever you want to say.
No, I'm telling you the validation part. You asked me a question. You said, so you feel as though validation when you go out with your friend is a validation thing. Yes, you want validation from strangers. When you're out with your spouse, you're with your spouse. So what validation are you looking for? You're with your spouse. You're not with a bunch of people that are always going to look at you and gawk at you, because honestly, these people are not going to be doing all that because you're with your spouse. You're not with a bunch of girls or a bunch of guys.
Can we back up a little bit?
Yeah, let's can.
Let's just back up a little bit and let's just try to hear each other out so we can understand what each other is saying. So it's a lot of things that's being said, and we kind of jumping back and forth with it. So let's start off with the healthy validation that I'm talking about.
I don't feel as though it's healthy validation. That's your feeling and your opinion. That has nothing to do with me. That's how you feel. I don't feel you need healthy validation. It doesn't make sense to me. To you, it does, because you feel good when people tell you look good.
So when we were just in Mexico, and you was wearing this nice little dress, and a woman walked past you. She said, "Oh, I like that dress."
Thank you. That's how I work on my business.
That didn't feel good? That wasn't like...
I'm not looking at it as a validation from a person. Thank you. You like my dress. Thanks. That's it. I'm not looking like, oh my God, this woman that I don't know totally told me my dress was good, so I know I look good now.
No, it's not like that. It's just like, okay, like if somebody come to your job, right? And it's a healthy interaction. And you feel good, like, oh, that was a good interaction. That person was a genuine person. You get what I'm saying? That's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to meet genuine people. So if somebody come up to you and be like, okay, they're genuine. They're not trying to holler at you. They're not trying to be disrespectful. A female or whatever, she come up to you, say, it's a nice dress. That feels, I know that you get no feeling from that? Like, I don't understand.
I don't put it on a... I don't understand.
I'm not trying to say, like, you can have a feeling about something and not put it on a pedestal. There's levels to it.
If you tell me, this is Tiffany's thinking process. I don't know anybody else's. When someone tells me I look good, thank you, I appreciate the comment. And that's it. I don't sit here and like glorify it. You say you like my dress. Thanks. That's it.
But why?
Like,
what are you talking about? I'm not talking about glorifying anything.
But the way that you're making it seem like the validation aspect of it, like I'm supposed that because of that person said I look good, it makes me feel better about myself. I don't have that. It does not make me feel better. It makes, okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. And I go about my day. I'm not sitting here like that made me feel so good because I felt like I look like shit right now. Like that is not, I don't need someone to tell me that to make me feel better is what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
And I think that's where the misconstruction comes from because you feel like you have to be or need to be validated by somebody and it makes you feel great. I don't need validation from strangers.
I feel
it's
like
just how
everybody,
I am.
no matter if you're male or female,
that's your opinion.
I think that everybody should have a healthy amount of validation.
Okay, you've always felt that way, and I've always disagreed with you. I've always disagreed with you because I don't agree with that. I don't need validation from people I don't know. That is me. I grew up in that. I don't need it.
I mean, that's just the problem with Virgos, I guess. We always feel like we know it all, I guess.
It's not even that. It's just the fact
I guess that's what it is. I guess that's what it is because it's just like I feel like I'm viewing the world for what it is. You feel like I am this way and the world should follow my mindset.
No, you view the way that you experienced. So you think everybody is a set way, and that's not always the case. Mm-hmm. If somebody, and I've told you this before, I am different. So I'm not in a set box that you put everybody in this category because you've experienced these people. I'm different. So if I don't look at it the way I don't look at it that way. It's just who I am. It's set apart from people. There might be people out here who feel the same as me.
So you just said it yourself. You said that you're different from other people. So
I'm different.
You view the world your way.
No, it's not even. And you view the world of your experiences and what people did to you and how they make you feel.
No,
so you use it according to that.
I'm viewing the world from
no, you're
how
not.
most people view the world.
You cannot say that because everybody doesn't have your same thinking. That's what I'm saying to you. I have a different thinking. So that means I'm thinking different than you. So that does not mean you're always 100%. Well, it's how the world is.
If whoever watching this, put in the comments. I want to do a survey, right? If you're watching this video, go in the comments and I want you to say if you agree with what I'm saying or you agree with what she's saying. I feel like humans should have a healthy amount of validation. You should be able to get like, hey, you look good today every now and then.
So if you get another female coming to you, you're gonna feel like you're on top of the world because she's trying to
go to the extreme when I'm not going to the extreme. I'm asking you a
question because you feel like validation from other people.
Put your comments below and let us know what you agree on. But anyway, what you were saying?
I wasn't saying anything.
You're trying to say like if like a female come to me and be like, oh, you look good today, then I'm gonna fucking jump out on my heels and clap my fingers or some shit and do a dance. No, I'm not. But am I going to feel like maybe like on a scale from 0 to 1 or like a scale from 0 to 10? I'm going to feel something. I'm going to feel like at least like a 1. Like, okay, thank you.
That's what's up. I'm glad you would feel that way.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I like your shoes. Thank you.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, all right, that's cool.
That's good.
That's normal way. That's normal way of thinking, in my opinion. Like that's normal way.
Okay.
But you looking mad as hell right now for some odd reason. I don't get it.
Just because I have a different opinion of you does not mean that my viewpoint is not validated.
But you're mad though. I'm not even mad. I'm just having a conversation.
You try to discredit my opinion. If I
I'm
have
not discrediting your opinion. I just disagree with it. I can disagree with your opinion,
and that's fine. But you spoke how you felt, and I'm coming to you saying this is how I felt, and you're like, this is how normal people think, and you don't think. But that's how I feel. So you can't discredit it because you think everybody feels the same. And I've been told you do this all the time. Just because I have a different look or viewpoint does not mean 100% I'm wrong for having that view. You feel how you feel because, like I said, you've experienced your thought process, who told you what you went through. Everything makes you think that way. But there's different people that you have not experienced in your life. And they exist. Just that you haven't experienced them, but you don't believe they exist because you never experienced them. And if I'm sharing another side of something that you have never experienced it, you can't tell me it doesn't make sense. I'm saying you believe that. I keep saying that's how you feel. This is what I've been through and I've experienced, but I'm discredited because it's not the way you think. And that's not the case.
Babe, I did not once fucking discredit you. What the fuck are you talking about? I never just once discredited you. What are you talking about?
Because the way you
No,
don't hear
I did
her,
not
you
discredit you,
don't,
babe.
you're not listening to what you're saying.
I am
and
listening
how
to
you're
what I'm
saying it.
saying.
And if I'm saying something to you, I'm explaining my side, and I'm saying, hey, this is how I feel, and this is what I feel. But you come out like, oh, that's because you feel like in your world is what it is, and in my world, like it's not even that.
Babe,
it's just the fact we have.
You came to me with this topic,
And I did, and I'm trying to explain something to you, and you just don't because you believe what you
for
believe.
My opinion,
and that's fine.
And I disagree with you, and now
it's
you're
not even
upset
about
that I
disagreement.
disagree with you.
You're not listening to me, and that's why I get mad because you don't listen.
I'm not mad at all
because you're not listening to me. I'm trying to explain my side. Yes, I brought this topic here to have a good conversation. I brought it here to talk to you about certain things.
And you asked for my opinion, right?
When you're finished explaining how you feel, I'll continue to talk.
All right. I don't know why you got to get like this.
I'm trying to talk to you. And again, just because you feel how you feel does not mean the world is the same way. You may feel that way, and that is fine. Ain't nobody telling you not to feel that way. But if I have a different viewpoint on something, I have a different viewpoint. If I feel this way and this is how I am, this is how I am. Not everything has to fit in your puzzle. It doesn't always have to fit there. And it doesn't mean that person is wrong. It doesn't mean that you're right. It doesn't mean any of that. It means the person has a different viewpoint than you. They may have been through different things than you have. So they're sharing their experience, and it doesn't mean it does not make sense. Just because it doesn't make sense to you does not mean it's not valid, is what I'm saying.
I don't know where this hostility is coming from. Again, we have this podcast to have discussions on relationships. And sometimes we agree with one another, and sometimes we disagree with one another. And just because I disagree with you on this topic does not mean that I am just saying that what you're saying is, I'm disapproving of what you're saying. I'm not saying that what you're saying is not the truth. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. I'm just expressing how I feel about the situation. You feel like there's no reason for you to get validated by someone, and I disagree with you. That's it. You have your opinion, and I got mine. That's just it. I mean, I'm looking at things. You always look at things of like unhealthy. You shouldn't be doing that because you're married. Like, what? I don't understand. I do not understand.
Okay.
Is that the end? You don't got no more to say? That's the end of the video?
Anything I say to you, you're not hearing me. Because the analogy you just gave me of we're Virgos and I go according to what the world looks like and you were according in your world, that is telling you you're discrediting what I'm saying, is what I'm telling you. You're saying something, but you're reacting differently. That doesn't make sense. It's not a world, my world versus your world. We have different viewpoints. That's all that is. It doesn't mean 100% the world is you and I'm over here in Mars by myself. That's not what that means. It just means I look at it in a different point of view than you. Does not mean you're 110% correct and I'm wrong. But then when you say things like that and then I say this is what you said, it's like I did not discredit you. You just did. I don't live in a world by myself, and I'm not saying everybody feels this way because, again, I don't know how people feel. I can't put my feelings on everybody because I don't know. I'm explaining how I feel. But by me making a blanket statement like the world feels this way and you were the wrong who's wrong, not everybody lives in your world. If that's the case. So it comes down to it because, again, you have not experienced certain things, certain people, certain things that you're so accustomed to seeing and believing because that is your reality, because that is what you live in. But if there's somebody who's different than that reality, you don't believe it's real because it's not your reality. That's really what it is.
And you saying that you don't have that problem?
No, I said, okay, you feel how you feel. Okay.
Sound like you got the same problem I got.
All right. I'm trying to explain to you what I'm trying.
You're discrediting me from what I'm saying.
That is your opinion. I said
the same thing to you.
No, what did you just say?
I said that's your opinion. Like, we got this on video. What are you talking about? All this shit is being recorded. Like, I literally said that you have your opinion, I have mine. Just because I disagree with your opinion doesn't disvalidate.
You said that after the little comment that you said to make it seem like the world is for you and I'm in this world by myself. That was after the fact. So
because
let's not
what
do
comment
that.
did you make? You said that you've been around certain people. I'm this way. That's why I said
you go against your experience. That's all I said.
And you don't think you go against your experience?
No, I did not discredit you. I did not tell you the whole world feels how I feel. You said that. You said the whole world feels how I feel. You wrong. How? Because I have a different viewpoint than you? How is that? That's what I said.
That's why this is wild. Like this is wild. I can't believe that we just really sitting up here getting in an argument about something that we saw online.
It wasn't even about an argument. The reason why I brought the topic to forefront, it was a good conversation about boundaries versus control. We got on a whole different tangent and went off of that. That was the original purpose. I was not coming for any of this.
We didn't go on a tangent. We're still talking about that same topic.
How do we go about validation? So the boundary and control has nothing to do with validation from strangers. Had nothing to do with it. That was part of what we were talking about, and we derailed off of it and got into this, which has nothing to do with what I said.
Okay, so to get back on topic, you feel how you feel about boundaries. Mm-hmm. I feel how I feel about boundaries. I feel like you should have boundaries in a relationship. If you don't like your spouse to go out to the club, don't get with somebody that goes out to the club.
And I agree with you. I said
like that. We agree upon that. But is that a level of controlling? I feel like that is a level of controlling. I do think that is a little bit controlling.
Okay.
And I do feel like you have to have like a little bit of control in your relationship. Like you have to. It's just a little bit. But what I'm finding out, and it's a hard pill to swallow, what I'm finding out is that when you have control, when you have so much control and you dictate what a person can do and this, that, and stuff like that, they lose themselves. You start to lose yourself. Like if you're afraid that if a person is going out to the club, if you're afraid that they're going to cheat on you, so you don't allow them to go to the club, then that's unhealthy. Because if a person is going to do anything to you, they're going to find a way to do it. So you stopping them from doing anything. It can be going to the grocery store. I don't like you to go to the grocery store without me. Why? If something is going to happen, it's going to happen.
Well, that's good that you feel how you feel with that when it comes down to it. I just feel like when you're dating somebody and setting boundaries, there's nothing wrong with that. That is healthy. I feel as though manipulation and control everybody has some type of manipulation or control because everybody in their life have been manipulated or controlled, whether it be from their parents, whether it be from their friends, whether it be from their spouse, whoever. So everybody has a little bit of that in them. And I also feel as though when it comes down to the control aspect of it, if someone is telling you that they just don't feel comfortable with something and you feel like it's a control thing, then you shouldn't be with that person. Because I feel as though at the end of the day, if something is making someone feel uncomfortable, there's a root of that problem. And until you find out that root, and if you're just not at that mature level to deal with that root of whatever is going on, then you should just not be with that person. Because I feel as though, I don't know anymore. I feel like control is according to the definition. And if it's controlling because someone's looking out for your well-being because of a situation and you're getting mad at someone because of that, then that comes from you. Because I know people that would be like, hey, I don't like you going here because of your past, and it can get you caught up in stuff. Oh, you're controlling. It's for your well-being. So again, everybody has their own opinions on things. I don't feel as though you feel like you lose yourself of control if someone's trying to look out for your better part of you and for you to be a better person and you feel it's controlling, then I guess you feel it's controlling. People that are trying to look out for your best well-being, and if you feel as though that person they're trying to control your life or be a parent or whatever the case may be, Maybe you need someone that's not going to be controlling and who just doesn't give a damn what you do. And that's fine. You can go out there and there's women and men that just will let you do whatever you want to do and they won't say nothing and you go about your business. So everybody has their different forms of what they view control is, I guess. You know, I feel as though it's healthy to have boundaries in a relationship. I feel as though there's nothing wrong with telling somebody in the beginning what they state, what you are not going to tolerate and what you can tolerate. I feel like there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just how I look at it. So I feel like everyone wants to throw around the control thing because a lot of people don't want to take accountability of their actions. So we want to be, you're controlled, but take accountability. Pretty much. That's what it is. People don't like that word because it makes them check themselves. So
he said in the video that if you were the man that does everything for you, why are you going to the club?
Yeah.
Sounds like a level of insecurity to me.
Could be. He could be insecure. Maybe he just doesn't want his women in other niggas' faces. Who knows? Could be he's just looking out for certain things. I don't know. Again, I'm not that man. I'm looking in from a different point of view. That's all. So
right.
Maybe there was this issue that happened in his past relationship. Who knows? Maybe
things happen in my past relationships. Things happen in your past relationships. Everybody got a past relationship that they learned from, that they get different views from. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you know.
So maybe he's just. I don't think there's anything wrong with what he said. He's telling her up front, "This is what I'm not tolerating."
So yeah, like I feel.
The end.
So again, I feel like him stating what he feels. He should. I feel like if you feel any type of way, then you should state that shit. Don't hold it back. Be yourself. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Some women like to be controlled. Some men like to be controlled. If you want a person like that, then get with a person like that. Find your person. You get what I'm saying? That's fine. Don't hold back. Don't be like, oh, I'm okay with it, and then the shit happen and you're not okay with it. That's what you shouldn't do.
I think he should always set your non-negotiables. And if
Right.
he's telling a non-negotiable in the beginning, there's nothing wrong with him saying that.
There's nothing wrong with that. No, it's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with a person that goes out. There's nothing wrong with that.
If that's their thing, that's their thing.
If that's their thing, that's their thing. But you said in the beginning that you thought that was a bad thing to do. And that's what me and you disagreed upon. And then it got out of hand.
I just think I look at things in a different viewpoint is all.
There you go, saying that you look at things at a different viewpoint.
I do. You don't look at the same as me, so it's a different viewpoint.
But isn't that's what makes us who we are. Your name is Tiffany. My name is Lamont. I look at things according to Lamont. You look at things according to Tiffany.
But I'm not saying
you get what I'm saying?
world...
I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong. That's just how you view it. I'm just saying that, hey, just because you view things one way doesn't mean the whole world view it that way.
Yeah, but your opinion does not also mean the world views it that way either.
I know, because you got you, and then there's other people just like you that have the same mindset. And I'm pretty sure that, a discussion is going to be had in the comments below of this video. And then we can go in the comments and we can comment back and we can have a discussion with whoever. But this is definitely a good topic. And this is always a topic that me and you bump heads on.
I remember back in... It's just I don't know how it got on the tangent, but it was about the original conversation was boundary and controlling.
Every single time we get into a discussion about a club or some sort.
I'm so over talking about the club.
I'm telling you, me too. I
feel like there's no point.
Me too. It's me too. But
I'm at a point in my life where I don't understand why it's a big thing.
I'm about to say that back in 2020, it was like 2022, is when we had a podcast before, and the last podcast that we did, and we stopped doing the podcast for a while. We was talking about the club and that whole situation. We disagreed about it. And we had an argument on live TV. We was doing a live at that time in front of a couple hundred people. And me and you get an argument because me and you disagreed about it.
But
And
the topic wasn't even that.
no, we
so-
were not. I edit these videos. I'm the director. I edit all these videos.
Today was not the topic about the club, is what I'm telling you. But it got to that for no
But
reason.
I'm saying every single time it's brought up, then that we get.
But
on
why is it
disagreement.
brought up?
Because he literally said it in the video.
Yeah, but the club was not the purpose of this. That was not the meat and potatoes of this, and that's why I get mad. It was not about the meat and potatoes of this conversation. It was part of a conversation that was said. But it always, when it gets back to this word, it's like, oh, it's a whole thing. It really doesn't matter if they're going to read a book. Like, it doesn't matter. It really shouldn't get to that point. If there's a conversation about it, he just made a valid point of how he felt. That's it. Whether it be the club, whether it be sitting on a porch, whether it be driving a car, it doesn't matter what it is. But it just seems, I don't know why it always gets stuck to this.
So I agree with you. It did go. We did talk about the club a lot, but to get back to what the guy was talking about, I feel like whoever you are as an individual, if you feel a type of way, say that shit. Don't hold back. No matter what insecurities you got, no matter anything, if you feel a certain way, say that shit, because they're eventually going to come out. So be an adult about it. You feel a certain way about something, say it. Because your true feelings will come out eventually. It may take some time, but the true you will come out. It always does.
There's nothing wrong with having boundaries. Say what your boundaries are. If a person can't respect that, then move on to the next person. Because you don't have to just be with somebody just because. There's nothing wrong with boundaries. If there's things that you won't tolerate and that person won't respect that, then that person is not for you. Just what it is. You don't have to degrade yourself or make yourself feel as though you have to be this person because of that. That's just it. Boundaries are healthy, and if you set them in the beginning of the relationship and they're well aware of what they are in the beginning, then they know exactly what they're getting into. If they pretend that they don't know what they're getting into and then you get into the meat and the potatoes, they just lied to you your whole time. It's just what it is. It's better to remove masks in the beginning than it is to pretend to be somebody to who you're not in the beginning.
All right, I guess that concludes the video, or?
You can. I mean, yeah, you can. It's fine. I don't know if you have that much time on there, so.
We had an hour.
Oh, okay.
Should be an hour or so on there. But, yeah. Again, people, in the comments below, please comment below. Please tell us how you feel. It matters. We will look at every single comment that you put down. Let's keep this discussion going. Thanks for watching. Peace.